Hey guys, welcome back. Seeing work so far today. If you're here, that means that you have finished reading The Great Outdoors and you've completed your story organizer. If you have not finished The Great Outdoors or done your story organizer, stop, go back and finish it. It's super important that you do that work on your own so that you're prepared to answer some questions with me. I know I can trust every single one of you to make sure that you've done that before moving on. So let's get to it. So now that we've read The Great Outdoors together and we filled out our story organizer, the next piece of our story organizer is really adding in the point of view. We add the point of view into our T box, our talking character box, because it helps us understand the point of view that the story was told in. So I want you to think for a second, was this story told with the first person point of view or the third person point of view? If you think that this was the first person point of view, you're going to do a little renegade movement. If you think that it was third person, I want to see you throw it up into a whoa, okay? So I'm looking to see which dance move you do. So renegade for first person, whoa for third person. Ready? Show me. Dang, a lot of you guys got some pretty good dance moves. If you showed me a whoa, you're correct. This is going to be the third person. We know that this was third person because throughout the text, we never heard the narrator use the word I in telling the story. Instead, the characters were all called by their names. Derek, Blake, I forgot the other character's name for a second, were all called by their names. When talking about their mom and dad were used. We know that this was third person. So if you showed me that whoa and you got third person, air high five. You're doing a great job. You've got this. You're nailing point of view now. Whew. So now that we've thought a little bit about point of view, I want us to shift gears and we're going to talk about character perspective. Remember, character perspective is how the character thinks or feels about another character or the situation. So now I want us to think for a second, like, what actually is character perspective? This is how they think or they feel about the situation. And remember, it's different than the point of view because the character perspective can be different for each character. So I want us to think if we had any character perspective throughout the text. Remember there was that one piece that I highlighted and I was like, oh, we're going to come back to it. Get ready. Now we're going to come back to it. So I went ahead and I snipped that paragraph in, and we're actually going to take a look at it together. So I'm going to reread that paragraph from earlier. I cannot believe you are going camping without wearing cargo pants, Derek, Blake said to his brother. In a place like this, it is not a good idea to wear shorts. You should have worn long pants and boots like mine. Blake pointed to his tough leather boots, which almost reached his knees. I want us to think, is there a moment where we can kind of tell how Blake might be feeling about seeing his brother not in the right outfit? You're right, this last piece at the bottom, you should have worn long pants and boots like mine. Blake pointed to his tough leather boots, which almost reached his knees. That's kind of telling me that Blake kind of feels like he's right and like he knows everything about camping. And if Derek doesn't do it his way, then he did it wrong. So what we need to go ahead and do is we need to add this to our story organizer. So I'm going to come back into the PowerPoint and I'm going to say a perspective here is that Blake kind of thinks he knows everything. Fill that in your organizer if you haven't done it already. There was a ton more perspective throughout the rest of the story. I'm going to read another section for you. I do not care what you say, Derek said to his brother. It is hot today, and there are not snakes out here. Blake had a tendency to boast about how experienced he was when it came to the outdoors. It was Derek's first camping trip, and while he had been looking forward to it for a while, he was becoming annoyed with Blake's elaborate stories. Is there a piece of evidence in here or something that you read that makes you think how Derek might feel about the situation or how Derek might feel about another character, his brother? What do you think? Point to the sentence on the screen that you think shows Derek's perspective. Whew, I tricked you. There are 2 spots. I do not care what you say. He was becoming annoyed with Blake's elaborate stories. I think these are 2 really good pieces of evidence to tell us a little bit more about Derek's perspective. How does he think or feel? Well, he's feeling kind of annoyed. And is he feeling annoyed at being out going camping? No, he's annoyed at another character. He's annoyed at Blake for being boastful and telling these elaborate stories. So I need to add that to my story organizer. Oopsies. Mrs. Lardner, let's move this out of the way. I was trying to get fun with the gifts and I messed it up a little bit. So we already learned like Derek's a little defensive here. This is a trait that we're seeing, but the character perspective is that he's feeling annoyed at Blake's bragging and about Blake just being boastful in general. If you got that, you could have seen this really fun GIF, and maybe I'll show you. Maybe we'll pretend like you didn't see it. Oh, what did we say? You're right, we got it. He's feeling annoyed because his brother's being so braggy and so boastful. You got it. Character perspective isn't that hard. You just got to read between the lines and try to think about what the character might be thinking or feeling. Good work. All right. You guys got it. You're going to go down and you're going to answer some of these questions below. And I want to preview some of these questions with you. This is what your questions will look like. I put another copy of the text in here in case you want to read it again. You're going to tell me the point of view. You're going to tell me Blake's perspective. You're going to tell me Derek's perspective. For Derek's perspective, I want a constructed response. I want you to actually type it out. Instead of just, you can use this sentence frame to help your thinking. Derek is blank because, or Derek feels blank because, okay? So go ahead and answer these questions and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.